Not too far away, and not too near, lies a place that feels like a soft, warm blanket, the kind that still holds the memory of a hug from someone you love. A place where every thread is a story, quilted from memory, imagination, and spirit. This is Threadbare. There are villages of yarn, towers of thimbles, hills of blankets stacked so high they might pass for mountains. There are tiny people, no bigger than a pinprick, who live in pockets of paragraphs, forests of tall tales, and quilts stitched together entirely from stanzas. They sow songs like wheat, harvest memories spun by wordworms, trade stories, the way you might sort marbles in a pocket. But every story needs a keeper. You slept in the drawer of an ancient sewing machine, curled amongst the broken needles and frayed spools. You had nothing, not a stitch, not a scrap, not even a button to your name. But then the first stitch whispered apart in the dark, followed by another, and slowly the fabric began to unravel. From the edges crept the void, pulling at loose threads, unmaking patches, leaving only silence and holes. And that is when you woke, for you are the story weaver. Through story quests, you will gather threads and restore what has been lost, dreams recovered, sorrows faced, worlds rebuilt, one story at a time. Every quest a patch, every story a stitch placed back where it belongs. From the warm hearths of Frey's End to the edges of the void itself, Threadbare is more than a place to explore. It is a living world, open, unfinished and waiting. Built by players who become creators. Every quest you see was made by someone like you. This is your invitation. Play the world and then help build it. Join us in building the game.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Loom Lounge. We are here in Mainz, Germany from the Serious Play Conference. We're so excited to be here because things are heating up. Would you agree?
Yes, it is very hot.
It's a little warm. Stephen, tell us about this conference. You've been here before.
I have. I've been to this Serious Play Conference a number of times. It is incredible. It is, for me, it's one of the pinpoint events in the world of games, game-based learning, and game development. And this time we are in Mainz in Germany. And it is very warm, and so we took this outside, and our technology is overheating. So if we disappear on you, sorry. But we are here with the organizer of Serious Play, Paul Darvasi. Paul, it's so amazing to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
You have been running the Serious Play Conference for some time now, and could you tell us a bit about who you are and why you do that? What does it mean?
Yeah, so hello, and I hear that some of you speak Spanish, so hola si hablan español, si hay peruanos, hola. And so my interest in all of this, I have a background in education. I used to be a teacher, and I felt that the education system is very broken and there's a lot of room for improvement. And I started discovering that through play and games, we could make school a much better place. And through my journey, I've designed a lot of games. I've written a lot about people doing amazing things with games in education, but also for social impact. And I transition now. I teach at the Faculty of Education at the University of Toronto. So I teach teachers how to use games and how to use technology in a really positive way to try to transform their classrooms and their practices. And I also have a studio with my partner, Elisa, and we make games that for different clients. We make games for climate change. We make games for learning, all kinds of things.
Goldbug Interactive.
Goldbug Interactive, exactly. And then 3 years ago, the Serious Play Conference has actually been around for 18 years. I used to speak at the Serious Play Conference, and the original organizer, Sue Bola, was 86 years old.
Wow.
And she still had more energy than I do at 86. She was amazing. And she decided it was time to retire. And we kind of took over her baby, and we've tried to keep it alive. And I think it's a really important event. So you can ask why is it important? Why do we care about Serious Play? It's because I feel that, one, this is, I know, something that you really believe too, Stephen, and I'm sure you do, Heather, is that we need more play in the world.
Yes.
That play is a beautiful thing. It's the way that nature teaches us things. If you see children playing, they're playing to rehearse for life. They play roles, they experiment, they use their hands. And we have lost a lot of play in education. And the other part is that we live at a time now where games have never been more important. Games are an art form, they're a force of culture, and they're actually a force of change. That games, people think that games are just something you play for entertainment, which we do, and we all love to play games. But what some people may not realize is that games are systems that transform the way that we think, they transform our beliefs, and I firmly believe that games can have a very positive impact on the world. And the nice thing about Serious Play is it brings together people from all over the world that believe the same thing. And they're doctors, and they're social workers, and they're mental health therapists, and they're teachers, and all of them come from all of these different backgrounds and all of these different walks of life, but they share a passion and a belief that play and games can change the world.
That's one of the things I love most about Serious Play in particular, is that there's lots of events that, there's education events, there's game dev events, there's game engine events like Godot Fest, etc. But what Serious Play does is it attracts the entire audience sphere. And so in some of those events that I go to, and they're wonderful events, you're sitting with all of your fellow educators, or you're sitting with all of your fellow game devs. But for the work that we do, it's really important that we are sitting with the teachers, the parents, you have students attend, you have, like you said, medical professionals and psychologists, and as well as all the other their focus. It's such a diverse range of people that come here, and neat and small and compact though it may seem, compared to some other events in scale. That's actually part of the joy.
That's the
part
magic.
of the point. The magic is it's that pinpoint audience.
It's a niche. It's a niche group.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
And I think that when you think about creativity and you think about innovation, I think that if you only go to a teacher's conference, right, which is great, you learn a lot, but they tends to be the same ideas that circulate. When you have an event that draws people together that come from such diverse backgrounds, the sharing of ideas can spark new ideas and new relationships that can really help advance things in a way that you may not in isolation. So I think that multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary aspect of the event is, I think, really important to help our thinking and to inspire our creativity to help make the world a better place.
Amazing. And am I right in saying that this is the first time you've left the North American continent?
It is, it's
amazing.
So
congratulations.
Thank
on that.
you.
That's great. We're very happy about that. It's been great to visit Germany and see what's here. So I have a question. Serious Play. Those two words together don't often sit next to each other. So why Serious Play? What is that?
The origin of the name comes because there's a type of game called the serious game. And the serious game, typically it's video games, but also board games that are made for some purpose. So if you make a game to teach about climate change, it could be a serious game. If you make a game about being safe online, it could be a serious game. So the person who started the conference thought, okay, well, it's a serious games conference, so let's call it Serious Play. But over the years, that has changed a little bit. And what it really means is that we can use play and we can use games to do serious things. It doesn't mean they're not fun. It doesn't mean that, we can't have fun doing it. But, climate issues are a very serious thing, right? Education are things that matter. Very well put. And so as a result, it kind of transmit the message that yes, we have play, but at the same time, we're leveraging play and games to do something sort of more serious.
Yeah.
And the other thing that we really like is play can mean so many different things, not just games, that we are increasingly, as the conference evolves, we want to invite all kinds of activities, not just things that are formally game-like, because I think that can also be very inspirational. Like if you have a workshop where you learn how to do some clowning, or we had one today where it was a matcha tea ritual. All of these things are not formally play or games, but I think they're part of the repertoire of experiences that can inspire us and help us think differently. Exactly. And it's playful. That's exactly it. It's playful.
Absolutely. Well, I'll share an anecdote which I did get from Will, our developer, who is with us and will be joining us on the live stream. Short, and Will told me that come up to play Threadbare today at the arcade that we have. We have this incredible arcade, which we'll talk about later, and played through it and then said, "What's the serious bit? Like, where's the serious bit?" And I'll leave Will to kind of finish that story. But that was a really interesting question from someone today. Was like, "This is great, but what's the serious part?" And we had to explain that, of course, and had a great conversation about it. So we'll talk about that one.
Yeah, we are grateful to have found a home here at Serious Play. So thank you for organizing this. Thank you for allowing us to come in and share our Threadbare game as part of Serious and Play. It may not feel serious, but we feel that it is a serious venture, and we're very excited to have been able to be here and share the experience.
I have to say the gratitude is entirely mine. having the opportunity for you to share the amazing work that you do with our audience and with our community, I think is exactly what makes this conference so special. We would be nothing without you and people like you. So the gratitude is entirely on our part.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
so much. Would you like to say, today we have some audience members who might be part of our Lore Jam, and they are all Spanish speakers. Would you like to wish them luck? Because they're going to find out the winner of that Lore Jam in a little bit.
Sí, les deseo mucha suerte. Espero que han disfrutado el proceso. Y si no ganan esta vez, seguro que van a ganar otra cosa en otro momento. Y les agradezco mucho por estar con nosotros hoy y les mando grandes saludos de Alemania.
Bravo.
Yay,
thank you so much, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you so much. So, the Serious Play is happening. There are people everywhere. As Paul mentioned, the audience is very, very diverse. And one of those people is who will be joining us right now is a game developer from Norway. And I'm going to leave Najette. Hi, Najette. Jeanette, to introduce herself. Please do.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jeanette. I'm from Norway, like Steven said. I'm a game developer, but I'm not from the gaming industry. I'm from the leadership development and coaching industry. And I figured out that like classroom teaching is a bit outdated. Yep. And we needed to make this, how to learn about yourselves and life mastery a little bit more fun. So we're actually creating now a narrative action adventure game for self-growth and life mastery.
Great.
So that's what we're doing at the moment.
What led you to games? Why, as someone who was coming from business for that industry, why did you turn to something playful to take on something so serious?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I have 4 kids, and one of them is a gamer. And I've also always loved games, but I've also been spending a lot of time in the entertainment industry, like the TV industry and TV production. And I saw that whenever I was holding a leadership development program or a self-development program, people didn't have the time to kind of read books or do the kind of boring stuff around it. So I just thought, when I looked at my daughter playing these games and I thought about what I want to achieve in this world, I thought, why not combine those things? Because I also know that when you are having fun, when you're learning, your defense system goes down. Meaning that you're not analyzing anything, you're just having fun, and then you're kind of indirectly learning a lot that you're not really aware of at the time, but when you reflect afterwards, you realize that I learned a lot.
Well, and evidence of that defense system, I think you and I have talked about this before, Jeanette, but I noticed that most children would be embarrassed to sing. Some kids naturally just, want to sing, but most children, and I would say, I'd actually go as far as to say most boys don't really want to be caught singing and to whatever tune that might be. But I've noticed over the years, and particularly in experiences both in education and also with my own step kids many years ago, when they play, they sing, and then they don't really it's almost like they're not conscious of it, but they start singing a pop song or whatever, and then another kid joins in, and then another kid, and then they stop, and then another one will sing something, another one, and they sing, and for me it's a very evident barrier that if they were conscious of it, if you said to them go and sing something, they'd be like, no, I don't want to. But they do when they're playing because
it allows
the barriers are gone.
vulnerability, which maybe leads to more exploration, more self-discovery.
Yeah. And I've noticed that over the years, and I've loved it. I've actually commented on it a number of times. It's like, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I think storytelling is a big part of it. I mean, when you listen to fairy tales, fairy tales are actually quite deep.
There's always a message, like
there's always an underlying message. And when I did my coaching classes and my master's degree in leadership training and all of that, the best classes and the best learning I got from that was storytelling.
Yeah.
So I think that also makes your defense system goes down because you wanna know what's happening.
Yeah.
And so, you're curious.
And so speaking of storytelling, tell us a bit more about what it is you're doing and what have you brought to Serious Play?
Yeah. So you think about the game series?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Kamamuta and Rimriki. Yeah.
Well, first of all, Kamamuta is the name of our company, and it means the goosebump moments you get.
Oh yeah.
It's directly translated as touched by love. Yeah. So that is, we really want to connect with people emotionally, and we're also connecting our game series to classical literature, like Dante's Inferno.
Oh yeah.
And the Odyssey.
Oh yeah, the Odyssey. And movie's coming out soon. So people will get behind that.
And that might sound a little bit serious, but we are doing it in a playful way. So you will have contrast in the game with a little bit of humor, a little bit of seriousness. But it's kind of a simulation also, because you're helping the NPCs there evolve. And the inhabitants of this world, they are driven by a shadow side. And this first game is about fear and overcoming that fear and becoming more courageous.
Okay.
And that's also related to Dante, because Dante, when he travels down these 9 circles of hell,
9 circles of hell,
he travels with a companion, and they meet all these people, and they get to hear their stories. How did you end up here? And in Dante's Inferno, you never get out, but in our game, you do.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
So we're basing this on storytelling, different classical literature, and it's kind of a fun simulation where you can explore, certain aspects of the human nature, but in a very fun and safe environment.
Yeah,
that's great. And so here at the conference, you are presenting.
I'm presenting tomorrow. It's a walk and talk along the river. So that's going to be interesting and a little bit of a Socrates style. They're all only questions, not answers. And we're going to have a card game. So I'm going to bring some cards that you can reflect upon that's connected to the game. So, and storytelling of the game.
And even that's playful, right? It's you're not on stage, you're actually walking around the city of minds.
Yeah.
You have a card game and you're going to take people with you and storytell.
Yes.
Yeah. We love storytelling. I mean, everybody who's watching will know already that that's the entire premise of Threadbare, is holding cultures and languages and people together through storytelling.
And finding yourself in a story.
And looking at identity and psychology and all that through. So in fact, we had a story about fear, didn't we? We had some students from, I think it was Peru again. They did a homework story, and
that was the US.
Oh, that was the US. Sorry, that was Vermont. And the kids in Vermont, they made a whole story about being stressed about homework and their fear of homework, and it manifested with a little character running around a desk and little homework monsters throwing things at them. It's great. And there was a stapler and a calculator and all that kind of stuff. It was very, very cool. So they kind of manifested their own fear of their homework in a video game. It's magic. Yeah, absolutely. So last question for you, and it's one that I'm going to ask Heather as well, is what's a game that accidentally taught you something real? So you weren't looking for it, you were just playing it, and it manifested in this like realization.
That's a good question, actually. Well,
I can go first.
Yeah, you can go first.
There's a game, we may have talked about this. I did talk about this game already, so you can tell how much I like it. But there's a game called What Remains of Edith Finch, and in it there's a story of a family story. There's secrets in a house, and you have to go through and uncover all of these different rooms, and you're kind of playing as a different perspective in each room. And that was really helpful for me, just personally thinking back through my life and thinking about family stuff and thinking about different perspectives, taking perspectives of various family members and thinking about, why things are the way they are in our lives and what we carry with us, what we choose to leave behind. And so I find that inside a game, you can really look at the story and apply it to your own life. So that has taught me some things.
Yeah.
Mine is a little more controversial. I've thought about this, and there's so many actually examples, but the one I wanted to highlight was I have struggled on and off with war games, particularly first-person perspective shooters, where, and the more realistic they get over time, I've really struggled with them. And it was Modern Warfare 2 on an Xbox, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 on an Xbox. And I remember this sudden, I was in a sniping position. I was utterly convinced I was no one knew when I was. And then there was this like crack in the head, and someone had hit me with a headshot and I was out. And it was one of the game modes where when you're out, you're out. That's it. And I don't know what it was about that moment, because I think prior to that, I had just been like, yeah, bang, 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 whatever. And I'm not a huge fan of them, but I enjoy them when I play them. But there was just this sudden realization that that's it. That avatar that I was playing is not going home to a wife and children.
Had one shot.
That's it. You get one shot. And it really made me go down this kind of like, there's all these people all over the world going bang, 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 yeah, and shooting people. And I think it becomes a detachment, right? There's this almost, I don't want to go too deep into this on this answer, but it was the jolt of the reality that we play these war games like they're real. But if that had been real, I was not coming home.
Yeah.
And it was this really sort of like visceral moment in my growing up, if you like, of like, this is telling real stories about potentially real people, and I just remember that strike, and I've played them differently thereafter. I've really not kind of invested a huge amount of my life in first-person shooters as a result. I kind of withdraw from them. It's just been really interesting. So it was less about like real life, if you like, on my part, because I haven't been to war, but it was more like,
it promotes a moment of reflection.
It was a moment of reflection.
We've
It's just like these people, and we're trying to make them as realistic as possible. We're like, we're giving them realistic skins, and everyone's like, oh, we need more realistic. And I'm like, what? So that we can show like, so we can get ultra realistic people shot in the head. So it was a real moment for me.
Well, we've talked about games as mirrors, right? And when you play a game, you see yourself, or you have this reflective moment. And I think it's important to talk about that and have that.
Absolutely.
And I think, and also it's about what kind of player you are, because for me it's exploration, and Journey is one of those games that you actually explore. Journey is a fantastic game, and also I liked what remains of Edith Finch, and especially the start of it, because it was the mystery of what happened here. And I got really curious and I got really into it. And so what I find so amazing with games is that you have all the different aspects of it. You have the sound, music, you have the art style, and you have the role-playing part and the simulation part, and you have so many things that come together, which you don't get if you just read a book, or if you just listen to someone tell a story. Of course, you can use your imagination, but with games, there's so many things that are combined in,
and then you have agency over those things.
Exactly. So that's probably my take on it.
Amazing.
Well, listen, Jeanette, thank you so much for joining us. We're looking forward to your talk tomorrow. We will be there. We're looking very, very much forward to it, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the Series Play conference.
Thank you. And this conference is just amazing, and we need to bring it out to the world.
We do.
Absolutely.
Norway next.
Norway is next.
Let's do that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette.
Thanks,
and now we are going to bring Will in, who is one of our developers. You know him well.
Yep.
Here he is.
Hi.
And we're going to talk about a few things. We have a couple things to kind of announce.
Right? We do. Now, some of you will remember that we talked last week about our Void release. So we're going to keep this short because we did a whole live stream on it last week. But the Void has been officially launched as of today, when that game went into that arcade, which we'll talk about in a moment. The Void was officially kind of like, it's real. The existential threat exists, and it's now in the game and people are playing it. How's that being received, Will?
Yeah, I think quite a few people have come away from it saying that the grappling mechanic of exploring the world by hooking things is their favorite thing about the game that they've played, and people are spending a lot of time with this game. The arcade is
amazing.
I stand quietly in the background and hope they don't notice me watching. But to the exploration thing, multiple people have found multiple different routes to grapple through those levels that I didn't know were possible. So it rewards exploration. People have found shortcuts that aren't supposed to be there because they're not just following the track that they're supposed to follow. They want to do it. And I've seen someone try to collect every coin in the final round. I told them that there was no in-game purpose to doing so. Right. They're like, no, I'm gonna do it anyway. And they were doing.
We could use an in-game purpose.
We absolutely
open
could.
To ideas on that, right?
But they were doing spirals around the map again in a way I didn't think was possible. So people are finding ways to explore these levels.
That's great.
That I just didn't know were there before.
That's amazing.
So it's really, really fun to see.
Good, and credit to our developer Manuel, who is not with us sadly, but did a huge amount of work on the grappling hook mechanic so that we can survive and navigate and get round and escape the void. Yeah. So thank you, Manuel. Wish you were here.
And I have to say, it's really cool to see it in a booth.
Yeah,
to see the game, and we'll put pictures up. I know we can put them on social and Discord and everything, but it's really cool to see the game inside of a real arcade booth with the keyboard and the mouse and everything. And people have been enjoying it all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And headphones so people can enjoy the wonderful music and sound effects.
Yeah,
absolutely. So that takes us on to our big event, which I know many of you are waiting to hear about, which was, of course, the lore jam that we just ran out. And to help people who haven't necessarily followed this up to date, I'll just give you a quick rundown of that. A lore jam is the name we chose for a game jam, which basically brings people together to very quickly bring together a game in tight constraints of either time or the number of people that can work on it, or we can set all sorts of constraints. And we called it a lore jam because we introduced a new area to the world of Threadbare called the Mythical Meadows. Yeah. And the Mythical Meadows have not been created by us. We don't know what they are. We had no interest in it. We hadn't really talked about what they were, who lived there, what it was like, what it looked like, what it felt like, what it sounded like. And we invited, through this game jam, the wonderful students in Peru to come and tell us, what is it like? What is the Mythical Meadows? And we did that in the form of a game jam, and they've been working for some time to do that. So let's talk about that. What did it look like?
Yeah, so one of the things that we do want to mention is that this game jam, or the lore jam, involved the use of Backstitch. So if you were listening a few episodes ago, we talked about Backstitch, that tool that's built into Godot to help with version control, to kind of reduce the friction that's there when learners use Git.
Multiplayer Godot, right? Yeah, I keep calling it multiplayer Godot.
Like more people can be in Godot at the same time and make changes, and it's a lot easier than the whole process that we were using before. So we wanted to test out Backstitch, and what better way to do that than have a lore jam where I don't know the number of participants. There were a lot of teams. I think maybe like about 40, 60, somewhere in there.
We expected 40, and I think we got like 60.
We got a lot of interest, and we were excited to see that, but up to 5 people per team. And they used Backstitch, and we think that went really well. So thank you if you're listening and you're a lore jam participant.
Or
thank
a Backstitch developer.
Gracias.
Or if you're a Backstitch developer watching, thank you so much.
So much thanks, because I think it really went well, and we were able to learn a lot about that tool and keep it around.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. And so what have we seen coming in?
Yeah, so the lore stuff.
I mean, there are so many things. People have had all kinds of ideas, and they've taken the brief and gone in so many different directions. Some people are focusing on the aesthetics of the world, some on the narrative, on storytelling, some on world building, some on new gameplay mechanics, some on remixing existing mechanics, or a bit of both.
It's amazing. I've been blown away with what I've seen, and I've kind of been checking in. And actually, that's another wonderful part of the Backstitch, is that once you name your project and you kind of give your project an identity, you can share that identity, and people can come in and check on your progress.
They can play test it.
They can play test it while it's still being developed. And what's wonderful about that is, previously, of course, with Godot, you would have to kind of cease and merge and then publish and then say, hey, this is where I am so far. Now people can kind of get a window into your project. And so the windows that we've been kind of peeking through, blown away. There's art assets in there, there's sound effects in there. I've seen some really amazing stuff. So thank you everyone who's put in that amazing creative effort.
And judging was difficult. It was not an easy conversation. No. And we
had a fight.
I was gonna say, we get along typically, like we have a team of people that love working with learners and love games and the power of games, and are always happy to see when things come in. And we really struggled in this conversation earlier where we were trying to decide the winner because there were so many amazing submissions and we really just wish we could give everyone all the prizes.
Yeah. So before we name everyone, we just want to say that every single team that submitted should be extremely proud, like genuinely. You built a piece of our world, and that is not nothing. You have inspired us. There have been even some of the smallest. I saw a flower set in one, like it was a plant of some kind, and I was like, oh, I want those. And you've inspired us in so many ways, whether it's, you know, visually or through sound aesthetics or some of the really clever code that we've seen. You've inspired our entire team to want to make more and add more and build out the world. And as our asset library grows, you may very well find your work in that library, which is amazing.
So if you're a Lore Jam participant and you are here waiting to hear the announcement, could you just give us a wave in chat? Just send us a little message or give us an emoji of some sort so that we know you're here and waiting and listening. Yay, look at all those people coming in.
Yay.
That's great. So we're very excited. We're gonna count down from third place up to first place.
Yeah, right? We are. Let us just get there. There we go. And so in third place, we have, I want to talk actually a little bit about the angel statues. The use of lighting in this world was incredible. They had these the
statues were gorgeous.
The statues were gorgeous. They were like these very tall, kind of like lit up, kind of just wonderful statues. And the creatures spawning from the void was just this wonderful. We don't have that yet. I mean, the void's only just been launched, but this idea that one entity can one storyboard can spawn a whole bunch of other storyboards and keep those things coming. That's the very premise of the void. And
it was scary.
We actually hadn't done it, and this team did it. So
that was great.
With a prize of a $25 Steam gift card for each member. That is Team 8. Congratulations, you are our third place winners. That is Leonardo Jesus Contreras Moriano. Thank you so much.
He gets a special shout out, right?
Leonardo was, we expected to find issues with Backstitch. It's alpha software. Actually, I was surprised we found so few. But Leonardo found some really gnarly edge cases in Backstitch and worked really closely with us and with the Backstitch developers who supported us so much in this. Persevered, switched to a different project, helped to diagnose the root cause of the bug. So big shout out to you. Thank you so much for helping us with that.
And it looks like Leonardo was a sole developer. Is that true?
I don't know.
Actually,
I think
that's
so.
incredible.
That's the name we have. So that's what
that's the name we have. So Leonardo, if you were a solo developer, even more kudos to you because that was incredible. Heather, who was in second place?
So second place, because there were so amazing visual aesthetics. There were beautiful flowers and moss and vines. A lot of attention to detail. It really felt like the Mythical Meadows. If I were going to picture what Mythical Meadows looks like in my mind, I think this really nailed it. It felt like a new region of the world added to Threadbare. So we have other regions that we've developed. We have the Void. We needed something that felt Mythical Meadows, and this really felt like that.
Really good.
There was also a parallel world effect in this one.
Yeah, that kind of shift.
It's like you press Z and you go to a different view, and that was amazing. It delighted us as instantly. As soon as we were playing it, it was like, no way.
When I pressed the Z key, I was like, and then that was it. I was like,
it was so cool. The creativity in this team is off the charts.
Yeah.
So we were very excited to award second place to Team 11. And this prize is a gaming headset for each member, and this includes Jean-Pierre Becerra Hoyataya. Apologies if we're doing the pronunciations wrong. And Milenka Vianney Guitarra Romani.
Well done. We could get Paul back for this.
Yeah, I know.
We could get Paul back for the Spanish pronunciation of the names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, and then first place.
Take first place for us.
Yeah, go for it. The big announcement.
Well, so this one was one of the things that really struck me about this one is the narrative running through the quest and the environmental storytelling that was used to do it.
Beautiful.
There were lots of NPCs in the world, some very funny writing. I laughed out loud while playing this.
Was that the one with it? Can you help me?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, can you help me? No. That was great.
There was also artifacts left lying in the realm, which around in the world. Some of them not very obvious that you could find, and they could give you some. They both built the lore of the world, and helped to guide you through the space. And there was this cool new mechanic where which activates otherwise inert items in the world to give you new ways to explore with grappling. So it's a really nice combination of this new mechanic coupled with the existing mechanics of navigation to open up a new space.
Lovely.
So in first place we have Team 13.
Congratulations. Yes, and that's incredible.
And their prize is
the prize is a gaming headset, a $25 Steam gift card, and their lore quest can be included in Threadbare as official canon.
Wonderful.
You heard it here, the developer himself. We are so excited to have this contribution and really looking forward to seeing this in the game as it develops in there. And that canon's really important. When we talk about that, you hear about the MCU, the Marvel universe or Star Wars. People talk about Star Wars canon and how important it is to, as Doctor Who fans out there, they're just like, well, that's not canon, and that is. So congratulations to Team 13, Gian and Leopoldo. And we do want to acknowledge that there may be some work that needs to be done on it to get it to the publishing part. But
the point of a jam is not to spend a long time working like very methodically
to make it perfect,
to make something perfect. The point is to focus the time on creating something cool and exploring the possibilities. So, that's definitely what happened here.
We got there's a lot of ideas in there and a lot of potential for others to come in and kind of use some of that in future story quests, lore quests, etc.
And I would also like to acknowledge with Gian, who I know is with us, and Leopoldo, who I think is too. Congratulations to you both. You had clearly done your homework on our lore. I know that Noria Needlenest was in there. You had, who's a character that I created. You had, you spoke about, now I can't remember the name of the other character, but you had clearly done your homework. You had gone into our lore, understood our lore, and then you had advanced upon the lore. So thank you so much for doing that. That means a lot to us, actually, because we spend a lot of time building the world for you.
Yeah, it's like their family to us, right?
Yeah, and now you've kind of gone on. So that is incredible.
This is great. So congratulations to everyone. We will be reaching out to you with details via email so that you can claim your prizes. And there's another piece to this, which is that anyone who participated and submitted their game can earn a micro-credential. And so we'll be in touch about those details as well. It's an industry-recognized micro-credential from Arizona State University, and you will be earning the Applied Game Making Concept to Canon micro-credential. So congratulations to all of our participants who submitted a submission for that.
So in the chat, if you're with us, could you drop in your team name and one thing that you're really proud of building as part of this lore jam, because we want to celebrate all of you and we want our audience wide to do that. So drop in your team name and that one thing that you are so proud of that you put in there.
Absolutely. And we'd love to hear from our winners because I do see them both in chat, Gian and Leopoldo.
They're both in
so there. We are so excited that you're watching, and congratulations to the winners. And if you want to give a little what are you proud of moment in the chat, that would be great as well.
Please do. Excellent.
That's great.
If you also have any questions before we look ahead, have a moment to also take a moment to ask us any questions, and we can field some questions in the chat as well. We'll keep an eye on that.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, let's look ahead to episode 11, Heather.
Yeah, so we're not done with the Lore Jam. That was the announcement of the winners, but next week the entire episode is dedicated to it. So it will be a Spanish episode. So those of you watching who are native Spanish speakers, we are not. And so we want to make sure to give it a whole episode dedicated to the Lore Jam in Spanish so that you can all celebrate this work together. The winners, of course, but everyone that participated, and really kind of share and be excited about everyone's submissions.
I can take this. Hang on.
Oh, here he goes.
El próximo episodio es totalmente en español.
That wasn't bad.
Nailed it.
I'm not qualified to judge, but it sounded
all
like
right.
Spanish.
Sounded all right. And we will be showing some of your work. You're gonna. We talked about it on this one because we're at an event, but next week we will be playing through some of those stories that we just talked about, and you'll get to see them in action.
Thank you to Team 15. I see your comment there. It's really exciting that you're watching this and that you're here with us. Appreciate
Team 15
you.
say we are extremely proud to be a part of the Lore Jam. It was a beautiful week. Thank you, Team 15.
Love that you participated. Amazing.
Thank you so much.
That's amazing. that one last thing.
Yeah.
Play the Void Pack.
Yes.
We've updated it. Please do get into. There's also a new tutorial which has been put in for Serious Play. So you'll find the beginning of the game is slightly changed. So if you haven't played for a while, go to play.threadbare. Game
and keep an eye on the game page and the release page on GitHub and on Discord, because we push out smaller updates a lot. So for example, what we're showing here at Serious Play, it's actually not the same thing you can play on play.threadbare.game. It's slightly newer. We've got a few little extra bits. There's been some really nice work on the dialogue, some changes to the quest loop.
Good stuff.
A little bit earlier in development, but like
excellent.
Looking forward to more people seeing that.
Do that. I get mixed up with that sometimes. I'm like, I'm seeing some stuff in the background, like this is amazing, and I don't realize that it's not quite there.
Public,
but it's, but yeah, absolutely. Go check it out. We have a whole bunch of changes in there. If you haven't, go to play.threadbare.game and play anytime, and then head over to our GitHub repository and play. Do we have any questions before we head out? I loved your game. Thanks so much.
We've got some great comments, but no questions coming in that I saw.
Oh, excellent. Well, in that case, we are Endless Access. This is Serious Play Germany. Thank you so much, and congratulations to everyone.